Karibu sana wakili.
Asante sana.
Hey, it's been a minute.
Yes.
Since you danced on...
I didn't dance, I sang.
But it was movement kidogo.
When you see my dancing style, I dance like Zumba.
You dance like Zumba.
I need space. I need space.
I saw the video.
That is Lerno.
You are really sweating.
In court.
I wanted to ask, akukwa na AC?
No. You know, when you are doing something with passion, and you are carrying the energies of all these many Kenyans, the ones who are trying to follow up on their vote, how it was cast, you carry the weight of a nation, the energies of all those people behind you. And Mimi Tuni, a young man, now you can imagine the weight of a nation on you, determine who is, how they voted, who has won as president. Of course you'll sweat because it's the passion that you bring in the game. Mimi ni Messidona. Messidona wa sheria. Like Maradona and Messi put together.
I saw your interview on your video on Engage Talk. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
And then you said that when you are doing the Piki Piki Ponki dance and song, that was for us.
Yes.
Yeah, wale wazito ulishamaliza.
Ulishamaliza.
So, when you are doing this Piki Piki Ponki and you finished and then later mukambiwa ni hot air and everything, how did that make you feel?
Nilisema tu haisulu. Lakini very soon kitaonekana. Kitakuwa wazi.
Haikuwa nini?
No. I mean, you know, nikifanya kesi. I serve two parties. The judge, I have a duty to the court. And a duty to the client, the people. So judges nilishawafanyia yao, waliamua. Mwananchi pia, I was doing for them their case. Summarize it in a way they understand. Let them form their opinion. Like in the US, some developed countries like US, they have what they call trial by jury system. Unachukua tu watu kwa mtaa, wanakuja wanasikiza, then they form an opinion. On the question of facts, the laymen are the fact experts. Whatever they decide carries the day. So even me, when I do my cases, like in that Supreme Court, nilishafanya legal arguments. Sasa hiyo nishawafanya. Sasa ni mwananchi pia aamue before judges wakuje waseme yao. I wanted mwananchi to also form an opinion and pass their verdict. And the unanimous verdict ya mwananchi was that election ilikuwa uchaguzi ya Piki Ponki. So to mwananchi, they followed the case, they formed their opinion. Ndio maana unaona saizi ukienda hata kwa Twitter handle ya Chief Justice. Amefunga. Mpaka wa leo, no comments. Because mwananchi are expressing themselves based on that verdict.
Walimokota mbaya.
Wamemokota. She has some explaining to do to mwananchi.
Akasema
yani vile Piki Ponki amesweta hapo na amesema point. Unamzima tu hivyo ati yote. Siajibu hapo kwa nini? Kwa comment section. So, but that is part of accountability. Everybody must account. Article 10 of our Constitution, one of the principles of governance is accountability and transparency. So even the court must account to the people as to how they arrive at the decision.
But
so
they
when people
didn't.
question them, no. I mean, they said it's not there. But ukiangalia the main judgment.
Shortcut.
Ukiangalia the main judgment, the one they released after, the official judgment, there is no mention of hot air, there is no mention of wild goose chase. Walienda wakafanya ma-editing. It's edited.
It is what it is.
C'est la vie.
Yes. When you guys represent individuals or the state, or when you have court cases, do you get emotionally attached to your court cases?
I try not to get emotionally attached to my court cases. But there are some cases you cannot avoid. Like there was a case I was doing for a young girl. She was 16-year-old in Kisii. And she had been defiled. Then she attempted to procure an abortion. The process was messed up. And she had to go for care. By the time they were going for evacuation of the womb, it was late in the day. She went to Kisii level 5 that time. They couldn't provide the procedure. She went to Tenwek. Tenwek couldn't deal with her. She was quickly referred to Nairobi, Kenyatta National Hospital. So it was too late. So by the time they were able to evacuate, The lady had developed complications. She had kidney failures. She had to go through dialysis. So in the process of doing that case, unfortunately, after we finished the hearing, and she used to come to court, because we are going to court now to challenge the denial of the reproductive health rights to this baby. So I call her baby. She was still below 18 years old.
Yeah, that's a baby.
And so she had been denied her reproductive health rights. The government had withdrawn training guidelines to healthcare care workers, had stopped training healthcare workers on abortion and post-abortion care services. So that's why she had to come from all the way from Kisii, being taken to Tenwek to Kenyatta National Hospital. So the time lost in between. So unfortunately, when we concluded the case just before judgment, she died. How do you avoid being affected? On the day when the judgment was being read, I was overcome with emotions that she has won a case, and she was even awarded compensation by the court, but she was not alive to see the fight. But that lady was just representing a larger constituency of what our women and young women go through when they seek post-abortion care services, or when they try to even just actualize their right to reproductive health services in this country. It's the challenge across the country. And doing that case exposed me to the challenges of women across the country.
Yeah.
And some people are saying that some of the reproductive health care services should only be provided by trained doctors. But what's the reality of the nation? How many trained doctors do we have? How many Kenyans can access the hospitals or the facility that have trained medical doctors?
True.
Majority of Kenyans, the interactions is with the nurses, clinical officers if you're lucky, or community health workers if you are a county that is functioning. So it's the disparity. We can have a conversation here in Nairobi where in one vicinity, within the locality of Nairobi, the center of Nairobi, you have Kenyatta, you have Nairobi Hospital, you have Nairobi West Hospital, you have Karen Hospital, you have Aga Khan, and so many facilities manned by qualified doctors. But what's the reality of the woman in Marsabit?
Okay.
The reality of the woman in Lodwar, in Turkana, in Kachaliba. The reality of the woman in Loitoktok. How many of them are able to access, even see? You know, we have people in this country who live an entire lifetime, from the time they were born to the time they even die post age of 60, without seeing a doctor with their eye. The interaction with a medical practitioner will be a community health worker, a nurse, a clinical officer, and in most instances, it's a herbalist.
Yeah, in the village.
In the village. That's the reality. But in Nairobi, you can afford to sit in our comfortable seats. We pontificate over these things as if that's the reality of all Kenyans. No. And this country is a country for all of us. Yeah. Those who are privileged to access these services cannot sit on the table to deny the services being provided to wale wengine.
Wakili, we'll get to your manifesto in a bit.
Hiyo si manifesto. You asked me about.
Wakili.
Umeniuliza.
Yeah.
Umeniuliza about.
If you get emotionally attached.
That case, I was emotional.
Yes.
That's why, in fact, you've seen I've gone on a tangent.
Yeah,
because
I can see.
In this particular instance, it was not just an abstract case.
Okay.
We had a child who had gone through defilement.
Okay.
Who had sought abortion care services, was mishandled throughout the entire case.
Was the guy who defiled her arrested? Unfortunately,
imagine the police did not even follow up to do investigations to find out. So in fact, this child was the one being treated as a victim, as an offender.
Wow.
You ate the man who made her pregnant, who defiled her.
Was just
somewhere out there, no one is even paying attention to calling him to question. So that was a very...
How much was the compensation?
She was awarded around 4 million Kenya shillings.
She didn't get it?
She didn't get it. Hopefully the mother was to get it. The mother was still alive. A poor lady from Kisii.
Oh, yeah. Let's deviate.
So we get emotionally attached.
So you get emotionally
attached. Yes.
So kidogo tu before tuendelea conversation yetu, do you support abortion? What's your opinion on abortion?
I believe that women are entitled to reproductive health care services.
Okay.
And within the permissible range in our constitution.
Okay.
If a trained healthcare worker has formed an opinion that abortion is required in this particular instance, like you have an ectopic pregnancy, which will kill the mother. Of course, the trained healthcare professional should render an opinion and do it if necessary. So I believe that our Constitution, Article 26, takes care of that question. Okay. Whether I support or I don't support.
Okay.
But let the professionals form the opinion of abortion care services that anybody who is in need of it should access it.
Let's bring law up kidogo. Since now I've gotten an opportunity to get lawyer advice for free. Wanaume munishukuru. Pregnancy, kushika mimba. What is your opinion, ama the law's opinion, of them kushika mimba na chali ataki?
You know, ukisha peana mimba, hakuna kuruka.
No. Si kuruka after, like during. Let's say, for example, a woman tells me, I am safe. Don't worry, I will take care of this.
Alafu umeendelea
kufanya. Wewe umeendelea piki ponki. Ukafanya rege. Akwambia, by the way, niko na mimba.
But when you are doing reggae, so you know the consequences.
Only two.
So you must live with its consequences. So you have a responsibility to take care of the child.
Okay.
You cannot say, sikutaka ati pregnancy or aende atoe. No, we don't have abortion on demand in this country.
Okay.
See, you just start aborting every day here. You go and have sex, then you are. No, we don't have abortion on demand. It's illegal here.
Okay.
Our constitution don't allow it.
What if the lady wants to abort? And na mwanaume ataki
abort? That is what I'm calling. There is no abortion on demand.
So dem akiamua kuabort na mwanaume amesema pana.
In fact,
uzai huyo mtoto.
You must.
Unaweza mpeleka kwa polisi.
Yes. Abortion is illegal in this country. It's illegal. You don't go.
But see, there are some organizations that are offering. I will not mention names. Lakini.
What happens? Any healthcare facility offers what is called reproductive healthcare services, a comprehensive reproductive healthcare service, where, if in the opinion of a trained health professional, abortion should be procured, yes, it will be. But sio ati mtu kuingia ati nimetembea tu mimi niko na mimba nataka kutoa.
Mimi sitaki mimba mimi.
No.
Sipendi venye babake anakaa. No. So unaweza shtaki mtu akitoa mimba yako. Na mwanaume pia akikulazimisha utoe pia unashtaki.
Unamshtaki ati is trying to procure you to offer is trying to get you to procure an abortion.
Very good.
Yes.
Umesikia? Sasa mambo ni kama hiyo.
Ukifanya rege, pate mimba,
deal with the consequences.
Sauti Sol wamesema kila mtoto anakuja na sahani yake.
People misunderstood that thing. It's actually akikuja saa which time ni yake. Si sahani.
Anakuja na sahani yake. Mungu
kwani ni watoto wa Luya?
No. We are Christians of God.
No.
The God man.
No, God.
It's God's will. When it happens, it's God's will that you.
Let's go back pale kwa koti before tumalizie. There are two things I always wanted to know. Number one, why do we wear those two white to newest wigs?
Mjua hizo ni colonial relics.
But why are we keeping them?
No. You know, we've not Africanized the bar.
Come on,
we are still practicing common law. Our legal system is based on the common law legal system.
But what does a wig?
Then also, but then understand. You know, there must be a difference between me and you. Sasa hivi vile tumekaa hapa. Umevaa three-piece. Mimi yangu ni two-piece.
Umevaa two-piece.
Sasa utaanza kufikiria ati wewe ndio learned. Na wewe tu ni obinatu.
Lakini wakili nimesoma kidogo.
Umesoma but not learned. You educated, not learned.
Sasa hiyo wig ndio difference.
So sometimes to create a disparity. Tukiingia kotini. Wacha mimi nivae wig yangu, wewe ukuje na three-piece, ukae kando. But anyway, those are inheritance of a colonial relic. So to the same way we still speak English. Why do we speak English?
Okay,
no, why? Because we can speak in Swahili.
But Swahili is also lugha yenye ilikuja.
No, Swahili is indigenous African.
But
it's an African, but African, a corruption of many African tongues. There is no country that is indigenous Swahili. Swahili comes from Bantu lingua. A mixture of Bantu, some Arab, whatever. That is the only language you can say is authentic African across the board. But of course, even my Luo is authentic African. Kikuyu is authentic African.
Turudi kwa wig.
But then one that brings all of us together.
So wig umesema mnataka kudifferentiate watu wamesoma na wale hawajasoma.
Wale hawajasoma na wanajifanya wanavaa masuti makubwa na kizungu mingi.
Hiyo wig mimi naona niko laga nyinyi pia shwali.
No. Wig lazima kieleweke.
Secondly, why do lawyers have to speak these big lingos? Why can't we just talk normal? Uko ndani mnatuchanganya na terms zingine.
You know, there is some terms what we call legal lingua.
Yeah.
So the common explanations of them ni ngumu sana kupata.
Amicus curiae.
But that's just a Latino word for friend of the court. So you want me to simama niseme mimi ni friend of the court?
Yeah.
No, amicus curiae. Hapo ndio sasa maji imezidi unga. Mbivu na mbichi
yeah,
zinatofautiana. So wewe ubina ukikuja na your 3 piece uanze kusema rafiki ya koti. You don't know kusema amicus curiae, unasema huyu ni mtu bandia. Huyu ni bonoko.
So from today even as we are amicus curiae of this show.
Ubina show. But you can only use amicus curiae in respect to a court proceeding.
So these are proceeding?
No, this is not a court proceeding.
But we are past the bar.
No. There are bar. Even the bar.
We are past the bar.
When we say bar, we don't mean here our levy. Our bar is a different thing.
Okay.
Normally, if you go to court, kuna pale wameweka, there's a bar.
Yeah.
Watu wanakaa public gallery.
Wana view.
Wanakaa nyuma. Then kuna hiyo bar.
Wazito wanapita hiyo side ingine.
So if you are admitted to the bar, wanakufungia, unapita unaenda mbele. Alafu inafungwa. So wenye wako huku
others.
Sisi tuko bar, nyinyi mko others, mnatuangalia. Mkae chini, mkae kimya na mfuatilie.
Okay.
Mfuatilie vile mambo yanaendelea.
Mambo inapangwa. When people finish defending different the plaintiff and the plaintiff na
defendant
and defendant
ama respondent.
How many representatives wanakuanga madui? Like sasa wewe ni lawyer wangu, kuna lawyer mwingine mnakuanga madui?
No, this is
ama nothing personal.
Nothing. No.
Don't hate the player.
No. As we are not we are not invested. As we are only invested in the facts and the law.
Huku nyuma nyinyi mabeshte.
Mabeshte, in fact tukitoka kotini. We go and have 10 o'clock tea.
Hey, my amicus curiae, you really...
Leo nimekuchapa sana, ama umenichapa sana. We are friends.
For real?
We are professional colleagues. We discuss.
Because like
the bar is there. We'll appear there every day. Clients come and go. Si leo kuna kesi ya Obina. Kesho hauna. Mimi na wakili.
And where
we are every day. So today it was Obina's case. Tomorrow is another person's case. Another person's case. Sisi tunaendelea kufanya kesi. Clients come and go. The profession remains. So we can't be professional enemies.
Okay.
And I'm not invested in my client's grievance. In fact, many a times, I even prefer to do a case with somebody who is my friend. Because then it's easy to bridge. Who says all cases must go to court? No, law is not a blood sport that you must...
No, malisa yeye. Finya shingo, bado anapumua.
Kanyaga hiyo. No. It's a blood sport.
For real?
It's about resolving disputes. So what we are supposed to do, like, if I can reach out to the other side, sasa hii na hii, sim tuzungumze. You resolve a dispute without going to court. Okay. It's only when the other side is not willing to negotiate. Okay. That is why we do demand letters before you go to court. Unafanya demand letter, kama ni mtu reasonable, mnakaa chini, mnamaliza
before.
Lakini kama ni mtu unreasonable, peleka koti, kanyaga shingo, anapumua, kanyaga vizuri, kata kichwa, weka kando.
A friend told me just yesterday, I was meeting with a friend over a drink, and she was telling me about another part of law that a lot of people don't talk about. Fellas. Being a fella.
A fella.
Yes.
A fellow.
Fella.
Fellowship, yes.
No, like you studied law, but you don't go to court, you are not an advocate or a lawyer, you become a fella.
Yeah, that's what we call. There are different caliber of lawyers.
Okay.
People practice in different spheres.
Okay.
Me, I'm a litigator.
Okay.
Now, those of us who go to court, tunaitwa litigator.
Okay.
Then tukuna watu wako in-house counsel.
Okay.
Now, in-house counsel ni wale wanafanya kazi kwa makampuni, they work in banks, so then they deal with largely commercial transactions, managing HR of companies. Those are in-house. Then we have the scholarly group. Hapo ndio pa mafela wako. Hao ni wasomi. How they specialize in, we want to study and advance, help develop the law through scholarly works.
Okay.
Asa hao sasa ni wanafanya masters, wanafanya PhD. Ngweze PhD ya tatu, ya pili, ya tatu. Hakuna masters kama ine.
Ni ana maisha.
Yake ni kusoma. So ndio wanafanya research. So that also exists. So not all lawyers are litigators. Like mimi saizi, I'm not in-house. Utapata wakili in-house ako specialized kwa in-house issues. Unampea issue about company administration, anaijua like the back of her hand.
Okay.
Hivi tu.
Okay.
Ukimpeleka kotini, anakaa bubu. Lakini kwa company, ni pro.
Stima.
Stima.
Iko na pesa.
It depends. You know, law is not about money.
Iwacha
money follows you.
Money
follows you. You don't follow money.
So,
and we don't do it for money. Huh? We don't do it for money. We do
you
it
don't
for
do law for money?
No.
You do law for what?
To serve humanity. To help resolve disputes. You know, by the most satisfying case that I was ever paid was somebody gave me a chicken and lassos to take to my wife.
Lipo na kuku.
Kuku.
Which year was this?
That was sometimes in 2013.
Juzi tu?
2014, yeah. 2014 actually.
Hakuwa na pesa?
Hakuwa na pesa.
Kesi yake ilikuwa ya?
Ilikuwa na kesi za dispute, boundary dispute na jirani yake. Shamba ya inheritance, hizo family ancestral land.
Okay. Mulienda court?
Tukaenda koti, Taita Taveta.
Mpaka ukamaliza na akashinda.
Akanipea kuku na leso. Pelekea bibi yako. I was very happy.
Hiyo ndo ulifurahia?
I was so satisfied.
Kuna kesi niko nayo.
You know, they gave me, listen, sikia kwanza. What that old man gave me was a blessing beyond what money can give me. Because I can also do a case for another company. Now, nipate tu an impersonal check of 10 million. It's impersonal.
What do you mean impersonal?
It's impersonal. Wewe umepata tu pesa imeingia kwa account.
What do you mean it's impersonal?
10
million is impersonal.
I mean, it's just a paper. You found a note that pesa imeingia kwa account. But yule, aliniombea, akashika mkono, kanipea, nikapelekea bibi kuku.
Bibi akakwambia sasa surely baba Junior.
Alisema no, this is very good. These blessings will follow us for the rest of our lives.
Wewe umepata mzuri. Ungepata kwambia baba Junior seriously?
No. Angesema kama ni mtu anaelewa dunia, angesema baraka tele. Hizo 10 million zitaingia sasa.
Sasa
za 10 million zitaingia.
Kuna kesi niko nayo na pia kuna kuku niko na ushago ama few chickens.
Yes.
Leso neza buy pale Kikopei ama Viewpoint. Tufanye hivi.
Sasa yako umeifanyia mzaha. Yake
sina kupea blessing.
Yake ilikuwa blessing.
How do you differentiate blessing na mzaha surely?
That kuku that nilipewa was something that was given as a token of appreciation. And a blessing. Sasa wewe yako itakuandikia fee note, uende uuze hiyo kuku yako, kuje na pesa. Sawa? Kuje na pesa na check.
What's your retainer currently like?
I told you I don't do law for money. I don't do law for money. It's service.
Aya. What's the highest amount umailipwa kwa kesi?
Very good money.
Roughly? Hiyo fee note ya 10 million ya impersonal.
No, very good money. I cannot say it publicly, but it's good money.
Okay.
It's been rewarding.
No, it's been rewarding.
I've been paid using a chicken. I've been paid
using an impersonal 10 million.
Using something in the account.
Using something in the account.
And you thank God. And use it to serve people. Don't keep the money to yourself.
Kuna kesi umeona giza?
Many. Yeah.
Umekubali harakaje?
Yeah, but it's true. Which lawyer can tell you they've never lost a case?
No, kuna kulose lakini pia kuna ile kuona giza. Yani they mop the floor with you. Mbako nataka unasema
no. What I do before I go to court.
Okay.
You must study because a lawyer is not a magician.
Okay.
You don't create facts. Kama client aliiba. Kama hajalipa deni, hajalipa.
Okay.
You will not turn deni mbaya to be a good debt. No. So, before I go to court, the client lazima niambie ukweli. This is the truth of my case. Then we I'll advise you based on the law.
Okay.
I'll even tell you, this one you are going to be made to pay.
Okay.
You will lose this case. The most I can do for you is maybe buy time to put yourself in order. Sindi nakubaya tu time. Put your house in order. Lakini you uta lose.
Jipange.
Jipange. So I'll buy for you maybe another 1 year or 2 years. But you must pay. Because I'm not a magician.
Okay.
Kama ulichukua deni ya mtu na hujalipa, why do you come to me as a lawyer now to turn that deni ikue wine? Water into wine. The deni is there. You must pay it.
Do you also consider lawyers liars?
Lawyers are not liars.
But a lawyer can represent you and they know very well huyu ni gaidi.
No.
Lakini anasema pale anasema
Kama mtu ni gaidi, criminal, it is upon the state to prove the case against the accused beyond any reasonable doubt. So kazi ya lawyer is to raise potential doubts and the state to counter them. It is the state to prove their case. Because, wacha nikwambie, do you know what they say? It is better to even set free 100 criminals than to send to prison one innocent person. Okay? You better have 100 criminals free than to send one innocent person. So the work of a lawyer is to make sure that the process of ascertaining guilt, because as in, somebody can come to you and anakuambia, like there's a case I was doing. I got in at the defense stage. Mtu ameshtakiwa na rape.
Okay.
And you had been told that ukienda kotini usikuwe na kiburi, we kubali tu. We kubali tu. Kila kitu umeambiwa sema ndio na pole. Ndio na pole. So when we get in, I look at the facts. It's like this person had never been arrested before. This person had a relationship with the woman. In this particular date when allegedly the rape took place, he was not even there. He was out of town. It was just a setup. Kuna mtu alikuwa na taka huyo dem pia. So I'm set up that he's raped. There is no evidence. When they do the medical report, nothing. So na yeye ashasema kotini, it's true. The man was staring at one life imprisonment.
Ndio unaambianga we kubali upatie parole alafu
utatoka. He was staring at life. So I got back, I said, no, wait a minute, let's go back. Uliniambia you were not there that day. Where were you? I was here. Who was there with you?
Who was there with you?
There is evidence here. I was there. There are even pictures. The people who were there were here. Out of town. They are claiming you. Where were you arrested? In fact, they found me in this other location. When did you see this lady last? It was more than 2 months ago. But it's being set up. But then stupidly, ashasema, nimekubali. So my work as a lawyer is to bring out the truth.
Okay.
Help the court to arrive at the truth of a particular circumstance. In this particular case, pengine angesema, alikuwa ameshasema, the judge could have proceeded to convict. Then you blame judiciary. Don't blame the judge. Si mtu alishajipeleka akasema, ni mimi nilifanya. And I'm sorry.
Okay.
Judge will tell you, the law is clear. Minimum 14 years imprisonment, life imprisonment. And that is the burden of our criminal justice system. In fact, you go to industrial area prison or committee, or even go to Kibera Law Court tomorrow. 90% of the people who are going through that justice system are poor people.
True.
It is so hostile to poor people. Go to the prisons here. There are people who can't access legal services. I try myself as a lawyer in my own small way to do pro bono cases. That's why I say it's not about money. It's about service. And there are many lawyers who do that, even organizations like Kituo cha Sheria, Kenya Human Rights Commission, FIDA. They try to give, but it's not enough. The justice system is very hostile to poor people in this country. Wale wanapata mawakili, wanasaidika.
Now, boss, do you think it's flawed?
Of course, it's rigged against the poor. This system is rigged. It's rigged against the poor. That is why, ask yourself, enda tu hapa Kibera saizi. Go to industrial area. I'll tell you, if you go to industrial area or committee maximum prison today, and look at how much the inmates were earning before they were incarcerated. If you look at their earning capacities, even their asset base, what they are worth, more than 90% of those people are worth less than 200,000 Kenya shillings. More than 90%. Why? There must be a problem. If your system is just incarcerating the poor.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that crime is so disproportionately done by the poor and not the middle class or the rich? Even them, they commit crimes, but how comes they are not incarcerated?
Wanasemanga kama kuna pesa Kenya kuna mali unaenda.
Ndio nimesema the system is rigged against the poor people. So we do a charade every morning when we go to court to get out the rich, the poor people are the ones who are. So prisons are congested. Solution? There is a solution. We have to be genuine about criminal justice and giving access to justice and pro bono legal services to our poor. Go to Kibra. You know, when you even go to the cells, the stench in the cells.
I know.
Why are the cells stinking like that? What's the condition they are held?
Where? Wacha tuombe na tungoje na strategize.
It is rigged against the poor.
Okay.
This system is rigged against poor people. Umeona DPP ame withdraw any charge against watu wameiba kuku. Lakini wameiba mabilioni.
Of course.
And you think there's no problem in the system? It's rigged.
Let's now come to solutions. Where now enter you and Jimmy Wanjigi. In 2027, you and Jimmy Wanjigi are running for presidency.
Yes.
You're the deputy, Jimmy Wanjigi is the president.
He's the candidate.
Okay. Let's start with you. Why you? Why do you think you deserve to be the deputy president of this country?
I'll give you the first example.
Okay.
The choice is very clear. Two people.
Okay.
It's either Gachagua or myself. He's there. I'm here. If you think he's doing a better job, his image is the image of a deputy president. His utterances are the utterances of a deputy president. He's there. You don't have to waste time coming to look at him. You can vote for him. Continue with him. But if you look at me and you listen to the things I represent, the things I champion, and look at my image, kama image kati yangu na yake, ni nani anakaa sura ya makamu? No, I'm coming. I'm starting from the basic. Because number one, the deputy president is the deputy to the president. Okay. Is a symbol of national unity.
Okay.
When Gachagua speaks, I leave it to Kenyans to decide if whatever he says, that this is a country of shareholders, and some belong and some don't belong, if that is what you call national unity. So look, if he is okay, continue. I have no problem. I've just offered myself for those who believe in a better Kenya. This is what I represent. Then now let's go to the content of the ideology. What we stand for. Kenya Kwanza, Ruto and Gachagua, their politics is very simple. Tutapea, tutatenga. We'll give Mama Mboga 10 billion. Boda Boda 50 billion. They believe the problem of Kenya is how to distribute the cake. Like tukuna pesa mingi kama nchi. Shida ni how to distribute it to different sectors.
Okay.
As our position is very simple. The national cake has shrunk. It's this small. How do you bake a bigger cake? And this is how we do it. Create opportunities for people applying their best abilities and innovation to achieve their full potential. Let me give you an example. Ruto and Gachagua are borrowing in the domestic market here, from the domestic market. Now, that was last week. They were taking domestic loans at 18% interest rate. Do you know what that means to you, Obina? It means this. If you go to the bank to take a loan, you know the bank will tell you. They'll take that government is taking a loan at 18%, so minimum, increase it by 4% for you. So it's 22. Is the minimum interest rate for you. Then, they do now your credit worthiness assessment. It can come to 26 or even 30, depending on the individual.
Wow.
Now tell me, if you take a loan of 30%, which business will you do that you'll make money? Now, our solution is very simple. Get the government out of domestic borrowing. We stop borrowing for the domestic market. The banks have money they are holding in their hands. Remember, there are people who put money in savings accounts. they need to earn interest, right? What will the bank do? Because the bank also must make money. Now the bank will come to you, Obina, will go to the cameraman, will go to the fishmonger, will go to the mamamboga and tell them, I want to give you access to this credit at a lower interest rate because they can't keep the money. So the bank will start begging you to take a loan, interest rate 8%, 7%, 9% maximum. With an access to credit at 8%, Obina, as opposed to 30%. What can't we do as a country? Just an example.
But why is the current regime not doing it?
Because they are borrowing from the domestic market.
Why
they have no solution.
Borrowing?
They don't even understand the drivers of an economy and the impact of government. It's like asking, when Moi was president, do you know even this media, internet we are using today, this media was so regulated that even radio, there was only KBC. The private sector, you only had the Metro and the Nation FM. And they were limited in terms of frequency. They couldn't advertise, broadcast beyond Nairobi. Then when they were allowed to broadcast in towns, they were also limited to specific areas within the townships. Kisumu CBD, Mombasa CBD. Kibaki said, what nonsense is this? Liberalize the airwaves. That is when you saw a proliferation of vernacular FM stations. What did it mean? It meant Kibaki had built an artificial superhighway for a manufacturer to take his products to the bottom past of the country. So you are producing cement or soap. You've been given a platform to advertise your soap in Marsabit using the Rendile language, using their radio station that speaks in Rendile. So your products can access market penetration. You are able to access to the bottomest part across the entire country. Just a mindset. Them, they are what we call distributionists, us, we are productionists. Their politics is called demand side, economics. Ours is called supply side economics. That is what Kibaki practiced. That is what we also believe in, Jim Willie.
Okay.
So the difference between myself and Gachagua is like light and day. The light and night. He's a distributionist, I'm a productionist.
Okay.
He's a demand side economist, I believe in supply side economics.
Okay.
I'm a face of national unity. I believe in a united nation, a united country, national cohesion. He's shown he believes in shareholding. So if he is the best, he's there, continue. That's what Kenyans want. All I can say, if that is what Kenyans want, waendelee na yeye. But if you want something different, let us be determined, let us be assessed, let us be measured based on our beliefs. Look at our track records. You can trace me by day from primary, nursery school. I went to a nursery school called Railways Nursery School in Nyalenda, in Kisumu.
Okay.
Went to Kibuye Mixed. Went to Malira High. Went to Moi University. Went to University of Nairobi for my master's. Went to École Nationale d'Administration in Paris.
Engineer is talking, Omara, where the learned fellows.
And that École Nationale d'Administration in Paris is called the School of National Administration.
Okay.
And all the French presidents have gone, are alumnus of that school.
Okay.
So I've learned this thing.
Let's come back to your running mate.
Yes.
Wacha Rigiji kidogo apumzike.
Nimemwacha.
Afanye namna hii. Atupatie 1 million tuweke bash.
Yes.
The president, Wanjigi. Why do you believe in Wanjigi so much? And Wanjigi has always been in the circles of the other presidents from what we know and what we've been told.
Wanjigi's involvement with the other presidents,
Yeah.
he's been a supporter like any other person.
Okay.
He's never sat in any cabinet meeting. He's never. He's never held any elected office.
Funding?
Yeah, he's funded campaigns. Even me, I've funded campaigns. Even for MCS, I've funded. MPs, governors, I have. I've supported in my little way.
Okay.
I'm not saying I have a lot of money to give, but I have.
But kuna MCM ameshika kiti juu yako.
Hata kama ni 2,000, hiyo ni funding.
Ni funding.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, people normally fundraise during election period. They open WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
They call you. So, yes. But sometimes even when you support someone and you fund them, then they get into office. They start doing things that are different from what you believe in.
That's true.
Does it mean that now you are tied in the hip, you are welded together, you cannot rebel?
Now you're responsible for them.
You're responsible for them. No. So you said, fine, I helped Jubilee to come together. I believed it was going to be a united ticket to unite the entire country. Okay. And we saved the country because they've been saved from ICC. We are going to implement an economic policy that is going to empower all Kenyans. In fact, their point of departure at one point was this issue of the SGR, where they are using 450 billion to build an SGR from Mombasa to Nairobi.
SGR is 450
billion.
B.
Yeah. In fact, if you look at the books, the people of Kenya are going to pay 1.2 trillion for that SGR, Mombasa to Dukamoja.
What do you mean are going to?
Yeah, because you are still paying for it, the loans that you got from China Exim.
So alternatively, what could have been a better solution for spending this 450
let me
billion?
give you an example. The best alternative, what he was proposing. That's the
Who?
point of
Wanjigi?
what he was proposing.
Yeah.
Do an 8-lane road from Mombasa to Malaba with a fork to Kisumu. 8-lane, build Thika superhighway, the way you know it.
Okay.
Build it from Mombasa to Malaba with a fork to Kisumu, joining the lake. What does it mean? What it means is this. I want you to understand this very keenly. As opposed to a railway, road, you are going to use largely local materials.
Okay.
You are going to use largely local labor, as opposed to a railway. So when you are doing that super highway, mega highway, do you know what it does into your economy? And the cost of that road at that time will have been 200 billion, not 450 billion.
Ngoja kidogo, unajua
the cost will have been 200 billion to build a super highway 8-lane from Mombasa
to Malaba
with a fork to Kisumu.